If you struggle to apply false eyelashes because they feel uncomfortable or never look seamless, these techniques change everything. I've worn eyelashes for over 20 years, and these are the small techniques that make the biggest difference when it comes to seamless lash application. What actually makes lashes look seamless isn't just how you apply them, it's how you prep your eye and work with the glue before the lash even goes on. And I know that probably sounds strange right now, but as the tutorial goes on, you'll see how much of a difference these small techniques make. In fact, they'll probably improve your lash application more than simply placing the lash on the lid itself. Okay, so on to the details. Before applying the eyelashes, I like to give the natural lashes a soft curl. This is especially helpful if your lashes are naturally straight, because it helps support the false lash and keeps everything sitting at a more lifted angle. And for your benefit, I'm using two different lash curlers here just to show you two different styles. This second one is especially great if you have smaller or hooded eyes. A smaller lash curler can often fit the eye shape much more comfortably and precisely. One of the biggest pain points when it comes to lash application is seeing that gap between the lash band and your natural eyelashes. And although I'm going to show you how to get the lash band sitting closer to the root of the lashes, this step of tightlining makes a huge difference too. By adding depth through the upper waterline and between the root of your natural lashes, it becomes much harder to see that flesh tone that becomes visible between your natural lashes and the lash band. One of my favourite pencils for this is the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Glide Eye Pencil. Once this sets in place, it won't transfer down onto your lower lash line. We've now added depth to the lower part of the lash line through the upper waterline, and now we're going to target the upper part of the lash line with a very soft shadow. Again, this is all about disguising the lash band and helping everything blend together more seamlessly. So even if the lash band doesn't sit absolutely perfect against the lash line, this subtle shadow helps disguise any visible gaps. So as you can see with the eyes open, we now have the perfect base for lash application because there's no visible gaps or flesh tones peeking through along that upper waterline. Next, we need to remove the lash from the tray carefully to avoid damaging the lashes or the fibres. You can either use tweezers to gently lift the seam of the lash away from the tray, ideally not pulling on the hairs themselves, or you can use your thumb to gently roll part of the lash downwards from the tray. Gentle but firm pressure and it should come away. Next, we need to make sure that the lash is the correct size for your eye shape. Ideally, you would place the lash directly onto the lash line first to check the width. I'm going to hold it slightly above my eye here instead, just so you can visually see what I'm looking for. The outer edge should finish where your natural lash ends, and the inner corner should line up closely with where your natural lash begins. As you can see, this particular lash is already a really good fit for my eye shape, so I wouldn't need to trim this one down. In order to get the perfect fit, it's helpful to look closely at where the outer corner of the eyelash sits. In this example, you can see that the lash finishes closely in line with the outer edge of my natural lash line, which is exactly what we want. But in this second example, the eyelash extends past the edge of the eye, and this is actually where discomfort, lifting and the droopy effect can happen. So if your lash is hanging over like this, the excess on the outer edge is the section that you would trim away. When it comes to trimming down your eyelashes, always trim from the outer edge of the lash, whether it's a wispy style that becomes longer towards the outer corner or a more even lash throughout. Avoid trimming from the inner corner, otherwise the lash can always end up looking a little too long on the inner part of the eyes. Next up, I'm going to talk to you about glue. My personal favourite is Duo Glue Brush On Adhesive in clear. It's great for sensitive eyes, and although the glue appears white at first, it dries completely clear. Although this might sound obvious, a lot of people apply the glue to the top of the eyelash band when you actually want to apply it to the back of the band. This allows the lash to sit flatter against the lash line, giving you a much stronger hold and a more seamless finish. When you first remove lashes from a lash tray, they have this glue on the back that needs to come off because it's quite bulky, so just pinch that gently away with your fingers. Once that's removed, I like to apply a very thin layer of glue to the back of the lash band first, allow it to dry down until it turns completely clear, and then apply a second thin layer before you apply your lashes. That tip is honestly a game changer when it comes to getting strip lashes to actually stick properly, and it's something a lot of people have never tried. I cannot explain why, but for some reason this helps the lash adhere so much better to the lash line compared to using just one layer alone. Just keep both layers very thin so that the band still looks seamless and weightless on the eyes. Then either wait or give it a fan until it turns clear. Now that the glue has turned clear, it's tacky and ready to apply, I like to place the lash straight down onto the centre of the lash line first while looking down into a mirror. Once the centre is in place, you can then tuck the inner and outer corners into position. When placing the lash, we don't want the band sitting on the skin itself. We want it sitting right at the root of the natural lashes, butting up closely against the lash line for the most seamless finish. So when I press the lash into place, I'm gently pressing it down and back towards the eyelash line. Now you may be able to see a little bit of glue on my eyelashes. It's because I didn't allow it to dry down quite as much as I normally would, as I was trying to get this filmed before my camera battery died. However, allowing your glue to go completely clear is going to be your best friend when it comes to the eyelash application, because it will be that much more tacky. Now you want to pinch the false lash with your natural eyelash to make sure it's completely seamless. If you can still see a gap at this stage when your eyes open, it's because the lash has been applied to the skin rather than sitting on the root of your natural lashes. Most lash glues still leave a slight shine along the lash band even once they've dried clear, so running a small amount of black eyeliner along the seam will get rid of this. I personally prefer to apply mascara before I apply false lashes, but if you want the most seamless finish possible, it's actually better to apply mascara afterwards. So once the lashes are in place, I like to go in with a small amount just to deepen and blend the natural lashes into the false ones a little more. So this is how the lashes should be looking once they've been applied. To help balance the eye a little more, I like to also add a touch of eyeliner through the root of the lower eyelashes. It doesn't need to look like obvious eyeliner, but slightly deepening the lash root helps create more balance and definition before going in with your mascara. So this is how the finished lashes should look once everything is blended together, and as you can see, the lash band looks really seamless against the lash line. Hopefully these application tips have helped, and now I'm going to show you how I safely remove false lashes without damaging the natural lashes underneath. When removing the eyelashes, think about pulling them downwards and across towards the nose rather than lifting them straight upwards. I also like to use the forefinger of my other hand to gently hold the skin taut, because this gives you a little resistance and helps the lash release more smoothly and gently from the eye. The key here is to go slowly and carefully, because this allows the glue to gradually release from the natural lashes instead of tugging at them. If you rush this step, you're more likely to pull at your natural lashes, whereas going slow allows the glue to slide away more cleanly. I hope all of these tips and tricks help you achieve a much more seamless lash application. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Please feel free to share this tutorial with any friends or family members who could do with a helping hand when it comes to mastering strip lashes. I'll also leave links to the lashes along with a discount code in the description bar in case you want to try them for yourself. And if you are new to my channel, I'd love for you to subscribe. I have a ton of other tutorials designed to help you feel more confident with your makeup application. As always, thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!